Maya screamed loudly. Her scream was louder than the car horns on the noisy Los Angeles street. The street lights blinked. The air was full of smoke. Maya was a 21-year-old college student. She also worked at a coffee shop. She tripped as a mean man named Derek pulled her hair. Her books fell to the ground. Her dream of finishing college started to fall apart too. Derek was in his mid-30s. He was a bad man who sold drugs. He was very angry and yelled mean words at Maya because she messed up something important for him. People shopping didn't look at them. Store owners stopped moving. Workers whispered to each other, too scared to help. Nobody stepped in to help Maya. The busy street didn't stop. Maya's screams got lost in the noise. At a nearby cafe, Jason Statham was drinking coffee. He wore an old jacket. His eyes looked calm but sharp. He had a sad memory from the past that still hurt him. Derek pulled Maya's hair harder. He laughed and said, "Who's going to stop me?" Maya cried for help as the pages of her books blew away. Jason's jaw got tight. He remembered a time when he didn't help someone, and that person got hurt. He didn't want that to happen again. He put down his coffee. His hands opened and closed, ready to fight. His boots made a scraping sound as he stood up and walked toward Derek. People in the crowd went quiet. Even the car horns didn't sound so loud. The streetlights made scary shadows. Derek's smile faded. He looked around nervously. Jason's eyes were cold and serious, like a storm was coming. Derek tried to act brave. "You think you're a big hero," he said. But his voice shook a little. Jason didn't stop walking. His calm walk made Derek more scared. The people around them held their breath. The air felt heavy. Maya cried. Derek looked less sure of himself. Jason kept walking closer. Now Derek wasn't so sure he was in control anymore. Jason was ready to protect Maya. He was strong and brave. This is a story from Statham's Heroics, where brave people stand up to bullies like Derek. Want to be a hero too? Tell us how you would stop Derek in the comments. Don't forget to like and share. Join Statham's Justice Crew today. Come into the alley where brave hearts win. This is a made-up story showing what being a hero means. Subscribe to follow Statham's next brave mission. The streets of Los Angeles were noisy. Car horns honked. Street lights blinked above broken sidewalks. Smoke hung in the air. People rushed past old shops with faded signs. Vendors shouted at food stands. Their voices were loud. The ground was rough under their feet. Loud music came from bars. The street was full of people trying to survive. It was a hard place to live. This street was full of danger. Bad deals happened here. Men like Derek scared people. People spoke his name in whispers. Jason Statham sat at a shaky cafe table. He drank his hot coffee. His old jacket hung on his strong body. His fists had scars from past fights. His eyes watched the street. He came to visit an old friend. He wanted peace, but his mind remembered a sad memory. He didn't help anyone. That scream still stayed with him. Jason had trained hard in Muay Thai, a type of martial art. He was calm outside but strong inside. He had a fire in him, waiting to help someone in need. Derek, the bad man, walked up and down the sidewalk. His leather jacket made sounds when he moved. His eyes looked wild. He was angry. He was a mid-level drug dealer. Maya had accidentally bumped into his helper one day and ruined a drug deal. The police took the drugs, and one of Derek's friends went to jail. That made Derek very mad. He felt embarrassed. He didn't feel powerful anymore. So he followed Maya and wanted to scare her to feel strong again. Derek yelled loud words and grabbed her. He wanted to show he was still in charge. An old shopkeeper named Elias watched from his store. He held a broom. His face looked tired. He had seen Derek scare people for years. Elias had had enough. He held his broom tighter. He wanted to help. Maya came to his shop often. She always had her books. Elias liked her and knew she wanted to have a better life. Her screams made him feel sad and angry. He muttered to himself, saying maybe it was time to act. The people on the street started feeling something was about to happen. Vendors stopped shouting. Shoppers looked around. Jason's coffee sat untouched. He touched the table edge with his fingers. His hands tightened into fists. Elias's broom moved in his hands. He was getting ready. People whispered, "Who's that guy?" When they saw Jason, hope started to spread. Derek's loud voice kept going. He didn't know things were about to change. His power was getting weaker. The crowd waited. Jason remembered the person he couldn't save. He wanted to make it right this time. Elias's eyes narrowed. His broom felt like a sword now. The street was quiet, waiting. More people watched Jason. They could feel something strong inside him. Derek had no helpers anymore. His yelling was just a way to hide his fear. Maya's books were torn. Her dream of finishing school looked broken. Jason breathed slowly. He remembered his mistake from the past. He wanted to fix it now. Elias muttered louder. His broom was ready. His heart beat fast with anger that had grown over many years. The street was full of car horns and people walking. But now, everything felt quiet, like the world was waiting for a fight. Then the rain started to fall. Derek screamed, "You snitch!" He pulled Maya's hair. Her book slid on the wet ground. Pages tore. "You ruined my deal," he shouted. He looked wild and full of anger. Jason stepped out of the cafe. Derek saw him and yelled, "Big hero, huh?" trying to sound tough. The street went quiet. Jason stood tall in his jacket. He had many scars from fights, but his eyes were steady. "Let her go," he said, voice calm but serious. People stopped talking. The rain hit the ground. Maya sobbed. Her books were soaked and ruined. Derek kicked the books. "Who's stopping me?" he said loudly, trying to scare everyone. No one moved. A worker tried to step forward, but then stepped back. Vendors held onto their carts. The street was full of fear. Maya fell to the ground, crying. Her knees scraped. Her dream of leaving this hard place felt far away. Jason clenched his jaw. He remembered the woman he didn't help years ago. He took a deep breath. He didn't want to fight unless he had to. The street lights blinked. Jason stood still. Derek pulled Maya's hair harder. She cried out. Her books flew farther. One even broke in half. "What kind of hero are you?" Derek yelled. He laughed and spit on the ground. People whispered, "Why isn't he doing something?" They waited. Jason stayed calm. His hands twitched. Rain ran down his arms. "Last chance," he said quietly but firmly. His fists were ready. Derek laughed and kicked Maya's books into a puddle. "You think college will save you," he said. His voice got louder. He mocked her. He tried to feel strong again. People looked at Jason. Their eyes said, "Do something." The rain got harder. The ground shined with water. Maya cried more. Her books were ruined. Her hope looked lost. Jason remembered the old scream. He didn't want to fail again. His hands curled tighter. Derek shouted again, "Come on! Step up or shut up." He dragged Maya. The crowd got louder. A worker whispered, "He has to do something." Vendors leaned in. The street waited. The rain fell harder. The ground sparkled under the blinking lights. Jason Statham took a deep breath. He tried to stay calm. He was scared for a moment.
But when he heard Maya's voice, his fear started to go away. He had made mistakes before. But this time, he didn't want to fail again. His boots made a quiet sound as he moved. He looked straight at Derek. Derek was a mean man who sold bad things. Derek smiled at Jason, but his smile started to shake. He was not so sure of himself anymore. The street was noisy. Cars beeped in the distance. The rain was falling hard like a drum. People around them looked nervous. Some held their shopping bags tight. A food cart nearby was still. Derek kept saying mean things. "You're just talk, not a hero," he shouted. But his voice was not strong anymore. He was angry because the police had taken his things. His friends were gone. He had nothing left. That made him even more mean. Maya's books were wet from the rain. She was crying. Her dreams were broken. She wanted to go to college. She worked hard as a barista, making coffee every day. Jason knew he had to help her. He couldn't let Derek hurt her more. The people in the street watched closely. One of them whispered, "He's moving." Another one gasped. The air felt thick. The rain made it hard to see. Street lights glowed in the mist. Jason's hands became fists. He was ready to fight. He had trained in Muay Thai, a kind of fighting. He remembered his old mistake when he didn't help a woman in time. But now, he wanted to do the right thing. Derek's mean words were weaker now. He was holding Maya, but his grip was not strong. The crowd whispered, "Is Jason really going to fight?" The street was wet and shiny. Jason's shadow looked big on the ground. He looked calm, like a quiet storm. Maya cried again. That sound gave Jason strength. The street shook a little. The cars were quiet. Derek sneered. "Come on, hero," he said, trying to make Jason angry. But his voice cracked. Derek's eyes moved fast. He was getting scared. He pushed Maya into a puddle. Her knees hit the water. Her books sank. She was wet and cold and afraid. She was only 21 and just worked at a coffee shop. She didn't deserve this. "Stay down," Derek yelled. He raised his fist. His black leather jacket was shiny from the rain. He was in his 30s. He was mad because Maya had bumped into him. It messed up his secret drug deal. The police came and took his things. He blamed her. Now, he wanted to scare her. He looked at Jason and said, "Back off, hero." "Too soft to fight, huh?" People around them whispered. Some cheered quietly. Vendors peeked out from behind their carts. One shopper held a bag close to their chest. Everyone was wet. Jason stood strong. His jacket was soaked. You could see old scars on his hands from fights. His eyes stayed on Derek. He looked calm, but inside he was afraid. If he moved too fast, Maya could get hurt. He remembered the scream from his past. A woman had screamed and he didn't help. That memory made him pause. Derek kept yelling. "What's it going to be, tough guy? Run away," he teased. His fist was near Maya's face. People whispered, "He's not doing anything." But Jason didn't look away. Maya was crying. Her books were ruined. Her dream of school was sinking into the puddle. Her work apron was torn. Derek's voice was loud. "You think you're better than me?" he yelled. "You're nothing." Derek was trying to make Jason feel bad, but his own fear was growing. His gang was gone. The police had caught them. People around whispered, "Derek's losing it." A vendor said, "He's gone too far." Rain kept falling. People looked sad and scared. A man wanted to help but was too afraid to step forward. The whole street was waiting. The cars were silent. Rain poured down. Jason took another deep breath. He still felt afraid for Maya, but he wanted to protect her. He looked strong. Rain ran down his face. Derek noticed. He pushed Maya again. Her shoulder hit the ground. She cried loudly. "No one cares," Derek shouted. He looked at Jason. "Go away," he yelled. The crowd murmured. One shopper said, "She's hurt." Another said, "Someone has to stop him." People were getting upset. The vendors held their carts tight. A worker clenched his fists. Then, an old man named Elias stepped out. He owned a small shop. He had watched Derek cause trouble for years. His shelves shook when Derek started fights. Elias had had enough. He held a broom in his hands. His eyes looked angry. He stepped forward. The broom in his hand shook. Someone in the crowd said, "Look at Elias." Others turned to see. Jason was still thinking about his past mistake. But Maya's cries hurt more. Her wet books were her future. He had to act. Rain fell harder. Street lights blinked. If he moved too soon, Maya could get hurt. But Derek was getting more angry. "You're scared, hero," Derek shouted. "She's mine." Maya cried out. Her arm was twisted. Her strength was fading. Her textbook was now torn and floating in the puddle. People were upset. "Help her!" someone yelled. A vendor clapped. A worker shouted, "Come on!" More people nodded. "He's not backing down," someone whispered. The crowd believed in Jason. One vendor said, "Derek's finished." The people were changing. They weren't afraid anymore. One shopper stepped forward. Another said, "We believe in you." The rain kept falling, but now the street felt full of hope. Jason breathed deeply. He looked at Derek. Derek's hands were shaking now. His words were mean, but his voice was weak. "You're nobody," Derek yelled. But he didn't sound sure. Jason didn't move, but the people did. One worker said, "Get him." Rain fell harder. Maya cried softly. Her knees were bruised. Her books were soaked. But she looked at Jason. There was trust in her eyes. Someone in the crowd shouted, "He's the real deal." Elias held his broom up high like a flag. He was tired of being afraid. The street lights flickered. Rain made everything blurry. Jason felt strong again. His past mistake didn't matter now. He had to save Maya. Derek's eyes moved fast. His hand was slipping from Maya. His anger was disappearing. "Take him!" a worker shouted. The street was full of people now. The fight was coming. Elias's broom was still high. The crowd was ready. Justice was coming. Suddenly, Jason moved. The crowd shouted. He and Derek ran at each other. They clashed in the narrow alley. Crash! A crate broke into pieces. The fight had started. The rain kept falling. Street lights blinked. People were everywhere. Jason's wet jacket stuck to his strong body. His boots splashed in the puddles. He looked at Derek. Derek swung his fist. He missed. "You're done, hero," he shouted. Maya lay in the puddle. Her books were still sinking. She was crying. Her voice was soft but strong. The crowd moved to the edge of the alley. They wanted to see. Vendors leaned in. Shoppers held their bags tight. Some cheered. Jason stepped aside. Derek's punch missed again. Derek was too angry to think. He hit a crate instead. Wood flew into the air. Jason lifted his knee and, thud! He hit Derek in the side. Derek groaned. He couldn't breathe. His eyes grew wide. He tried to punch again, but Jason was faster. Crack! Jason hit him with his elbow right on the jaw. Derek stumbled. He slipped on the wet ground. His confidence was gone. His power was gone. The crowd cheered. They had hope now. Maya smiled through her tears. She believed in Jason, and he didn't let her down. The rain kept falling, but the street had changed. People were not afraid anymore. Jason Statham stood tall. He had done the right thing. He had made his stand. The people cheered louder. Elias smiled. He lowered his broom. Justice had come to their street. The crowd gasped.
A vendor shouted, "Get him!" People shopping stopped and looked. Some got closer. They whispered to each other, "He's too fast." The street was shiny and wet from the rain. Maya was crying softly. She felt scared and her hope was almost gone. The street was noisy and messy, like a big heartbeat. Derek realized something. He was breathing hard. He took a step back. Rain was running down his face. He looked around, trying to find a way out. But Statham was very strong and fast. Derek tried to punch him, but missed. Statham moved quickly and hit him with his elbow. It was hard. Bone hit bone. Derek's legs got weak. He was slower now. He had lost his secret hiding spot. His friends were in jail, and everything he had was gone. Statham lifted his knee and hit Derek in the ribs. Derek gasped for air. Statham was winning. People watching got loud. One person clapped. A vendor shouted, "He's got him!" The rain kept falling. A shadow moved in the alley. Statham looked like a hero in the rain. He had scars that glowed on his arms. He pulled out his special blade. Elias, the old shopkeeper, came forward with a broom in his hand. His face looked serious. He said, "No more." He swung the broom. Crack! He hit one of Derek's friends, a big tough man. The man fell into a wooden box that broke into pieces. People cheered. A vendor yelled, "Go Elias!" More people cheered louder. Maya stood up slowly. She held a book. Rain made it wet. She cried, but she was not giving up. She still had her dream of going to college. Statham dodged Derek's next punch. He stepped to the side and hit Derek on the head with his elbow. Thud. Derek fell. He scraped his knees on the ground. His hands were weak. His eyes were wide and surprised. The rain washed the sweat from his face. He looked lost. Statham kept going. He used all his Muay Thai fighting moves. He was calm and powerful. He moved through the rain like a warrior. He hit Derek in the chest again with his knee. Then he pulled Maya away from danger. Her arm shook, but she was free. Her books were forgotten in a puddle. Elias swung his broom again. The other bad guy fell over. People cheered even more. "He's no ordinary guy," Elias said, his voice rough. His broom was now like a flag. People shouted, "Take him down!" Shoppers clapped. The crowd got bigger and louder. The rain hit their faces. The dark alley was full of people. It was like a stage for the fight. Statham moved like a master fighter. His scars told stories. Maya felt hope again. She looked at him and believed everything would be okay. Someone in the crowd yelled, "Finish it!" People clapped and cheered. They didn't believe in Derek anymore. Statham stepped back. His jacket was heavy with rain. He stared at Derek. Derek breathed slower. He took a shaky step. He looked empty. The fight was over. Rain kept falling. Maya held her torn apron. She cried quietly, but she looked at Statham with trust. Elias rested his broom. He stopped muttering, but his eyes still burned with spirit. Someone whispered, "He saved her." A vendor nodded. "Derek's done." The ground sparkled under the streetlights. The sound of rain wasn't so loud now. Statham stood tall. He wasn't breathing hard anymore. His fighting was over. He was calm. Shadows in the alley stopped moving. Derek's hand fell. He didn't say anything. He didn't laugh. His anger was gone, washed away with the rain. He couldn't look at Maya. The crowd cheered louder. Someone shouted, "Hero!" Vendors clapped. Shoppers cheered. The street felt full of hope. Maya's books were ruined, but she stood stronger. Her dream of college was still alive. Elias held his broom like a flag. The shopkeeper had become a hero too. People said, "He's the real deal." Rain still fell, but it was soft now. The alley was quiet again. Statham had won the fight. Derek's pride was broken. Maya got up. Her arm was sore, but her hope was strong. She looked at Statham like he was her hero. Elias's broom stood tall. His face was fierce. People cheered. The street felt alive. Workers nodded. "He's no thug," someone whispered. "She's safe," someone else said. Statham's eyes looked softer now. He wasn't angry. His Muay Thai fire was resting. Maya was free. Her crying stopped. Elias's broom tripped the last thug. The crowd got louder. "He's no ordinary guy," Elias said again. People cheered louder. Vendors clapped. Rain kept falling, but not as strong. The alley was now calm. Statham looked around. He stayed quiet. Derek was breathing hard. His fight was over. He had no more power. Maya clutched her books. Her sobs were gone. She looked at Statham with bright eyes. Elias stopped muttering. He stood proudly. People whispered, "He saved her. He changed things." Streetlights flickered softly. The rain was gentle. The alley was a place of hope now. Statham helped Maya pick up her books. They were wet and torn. He said, "Keep studying." His voice was soft and kind. Maya nodded. She was a 21-year-old barista, but she had big dreams. Her knees were bruised, but she stood strong. Statham turned to the crowd and said, "Thanks to the fans for standing with me." People clapped. Their cheers were softer now, but full of respect. Elias held his broom tightly. He said, "No more fear." He wanted to stop crime in the neighborhood. He planned to make a patrol with his neighbors. He was tired of being scared. He saw what Statham did. It gave him hope. He wanted to do something too. People whispered, "Elias is brave." A worker said, "It's about time."
The rain slowed. The streetlights were steady. Maya clutched her books. Her spirit was strong. Elias's idea of a patrol gave people hope. The noise of the street was fading. A shopper clapped slowly. "He saved her," someone said. Others nodded. Derek's finished. Statham didn't smile or brag. He stayed calm. His scars were quiet proof of his past fights. Maya looked at him and smiled. She felt stronger. Her dream of college was alive again. Elias's broom rested. His thoughts were turning into a plan. He would help the neighborhood be safe. The people whispered, "She's stronger than she looks." Elias's got fire. Statham looked at the crowd. Rain dripped from his jacket. His eyes were soft. The shadows in the alley were still now. The crate was broken and silent. The rain was quieter. Derek limped away. His jacket was ripped. His head hung low. He looked like a shadow. The bad guy was now weak. He had no more power. Vendors whispered, "He's done." Shoppers watched quietly. The street was quiet. Statham stood still. His jacket was soaked. His hands had scars. He bent down and gave Maya her books. He held her arm to help her stand. He said, "Keep going." Maya smiled. Her knees hurt, but she stood strong. Her dreams were shining again. Statham nodded at the crowd. He said thank you to the people who cheered him on. People clapped. They weren't loud now, but their hearts were full. Elias held his broom high. His eyes were full of light. He would make a plan. He would start a group to protect the neighborhood. He had seen enough crime. Now he wanted to make things better. His broom was now a symbol. People whispered, "Elias is a leader." A worker said, "We're stronger now." Rain stopped. The lights shone bright. People smiled. Maya held her books tight. She had been scared, but now she was strong. She would help Elias. The bad guy, Derek, stayed away. He was afraid. His pride was gone. He remembered the day he lost. People whispered, "He's scared now. He's not the same." The air was clean. The neighborhood was quiet. No more horns or shouting. Maya's spirit was brave. Her job as a barista didn't stop her from being a hero too. She worked with Elias. They started a group to keep people safe. They walked the streets and watched over others. People joined them. They felt hope. Elias's shop became a meeting place. His broom was a sign of their strength. Statham didn't stay. He left quietly, but his actions lit a fire in their hearts. He had shown them what real bravery looked like. Maya's dream was strong. Elias's plan was working. The vendors and shoppers all believed. Rain was gone. The road was dry. The air was fresh. The alley that once was scary was now a place of hope. Statham had walked away, but his memory stayed. People whispered his name. They knew he was the real deal. Maya kept going. Her books were torn, but she was strong. Elias's broom stood tall. The people were proud. The fight was over, but their journey had just begun. The streets now belonged to them. Together, they made their neighborhood safe again, and they never forgot the hero who helped them believe. If you like this story, tell me in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe for more fun adventures and mysteries. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.